So before we start Parashat Chayei, just want to tell you something about what's going on in the land of Israel right now. With all these fires breaking up all over the place. Today they had to evacuate 75,000 residents from Haifa all over the place. And, you know, it's the Arabs lighting up the place for the great love to the land. You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of the story of King Solomon, Shlomo HaMelech, when they brought to him the baby. Right? So one mother says, you know, cut the baby in half, it's fine, I'll take half, she'll take half. The other mother saying, no, don't do it, she's crying over her baby. I really see who the land belongs to if I have any doubts. Those who really try to develop it or those who burn it. So tell this to all these Jew lovers over there, they should wake up. And to the Jews as well. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Parashat HaShavua, Parashat Chayei Sarah. Interesting parasha. I don't know if it's the most exciting parasha. You know, the whole story of Eliezer goes on and on and on. Okay, whatever. Anyway, but when we spoke last time about Avraham Avinu, or the last few times we spoke about Avraham Avinu, we always mention Avraham Avinu with his great continuous movement. He's always moving from one place to another. Where it says Vayelech, Vayarotz, Vayemaher, and he ran and he walked and he rushed and he did this one fast, and of course the famous Lech Lecha, go to your own land, and we saw that in this continuous activity, motion, there's something that is like a common denominator by all our patriarchs and matriarchs as well. Of course, the question is there anything that is any meaning to this thing? Does it is it a case of like a recorded case of ADD, or maybe there's something completely different? Is this continuous motion comes to teach me something about my internal state of affairs, or where am I standing? Something about spiritual. Does it teach me anything on the spiritual aspects? Hey, Ari. Yeah. So we also see in this parasha, in this week's parasha, there's a certain movement. Okay, so at the beginning we talk about the slave of Avraham Avinu, Eliezer. I wouldn't say it's such a big deal, but you know, Eliezer, he goes like this, and the pasuk says, "Vayaretz ha'eved likrata, vayomer hagbieni na me'at mayim mikadech." And he ran towards the girl, and he says, "Can I have something to drink?" I want bourbon, I want scotch, right? He wanted some other, but he ran to her. So he says, okay, maybe because he was thirsty, or maybe because it's something that he learned. He could have walked to her, but he learned by Avraham Avinu, so he ran. So maybe it's like this. Usually, though, we say that the whole entire story that the Torah brought about Eliezer, that he really knows that she's the one. It was really the act of chesed that she did with the camels. You know, she took the water and she gave him water and she gave the camels water. And, you know, camels drink a lot of water. You hold a bunch of camels with him. You know, so that was a great act of chesed. So we see this is really the sign that Rivka is the one and only. But maybe there is another way to look at it. Or maybe there's another aspect that we've been missing all the time. Parenthesis, of course there is. And of course there's going to be next year, Bezrat Hashem, something else. You know, but of course there is. The pasuk, the next pasuk after it says that's by the way in chapter 24 verse 17. So the pasuk right after, I wrote it down. The pasuk right after that said something else, and it says Vatomer, and she said Rebecca. I love the name Rebecca. Vatomer Shte Adoni, please drink, sire or sir, whatever you want to call him. Right? Please drink. Now pay attention. Vatemaher. And she rushed and she hurried. Vatemaher. A very important word that when we read it, we basically miss. Vatemaher. And she hurried. Vatoret kada al yada. And she took the what did she have? The kad, pitcher, or you know, and she let them drink. Vatashkeu. So Eliezer is astonished. Eliezer is really astonished, and after that, and the pasuk says, "V'haish mishta'ela." Macharish. He's astonished. He's quiet. First of all, he can't say anything. He's speechless. Ladat. Ha'atzliach Hashem darko. Maybe Hashem really helped him. Maybe it is. Imlo. Maybe he didn't. It says that V'mishtaheh, he was, wow, speechless. It looks like Eliezer is saying, you know what? This is too good to be true. This is too good to be true. Why is it too good to be true? Not only that he found an act of kindness, an act of chesed in what she did it in the way that it's done in the house of Abraham. And that's bimhirut, quickly. He says that's too good to be truth. That it can't be. Is it really it? Say it and so, Joe. It's impossible. It's really, he's astonished. Again, not only the act of chesed, but also the speed behind it. So after Eliezer says a little short hallel, he says, praise the Lord, hallelujah, a couple of times, right? Of course, it says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have the next pasuk, the next verse, that says, or Eineg, which is in Chavdaled, Chavchet, in pasuk 28, verse 28, again, Vataretz hana'ara, vataged levet ima kadvarim ha'ele. And then she ran. After he told her and he gave her the bracelets and the whole thing, and she ran. She didn't walk. She could have said like this, showing all the friends, look what I got here, look what I got. She ran to the house of her mother to tell her exactly what happened. Pay attention. Pay attention. We always love to tell, by the way, the story of Lavan Arami, And we always like to paint Lavan Arami as a bad guy, a wicked guy. Right? Always not, let's say, not a wicked guy, but maybe not the most honest guy out there. How about that? After all, he's our great uncle or something of that sort. What a family. Hey, Shalom. So, maybe we're a little mistaken. Maybe we are completely off. We did it a few times before about Esav. But maybe, maybe we are really wrong about, what's his name? About Lavan as well. Maybe we're wrong. Why? Because the next pasuk, 29, says the following. Remember, I told you, pay attention to the motion, how motion is being described there. And then what he says? He says, Vayaretz Lavan el ha'ish achutza el ha'ain. And Lavan ran. He heard the story. He ran out to the man outside, which stands by the ayin. Ayin really means a bubbling brook, or a creek or something like this. Not necessarily a be'er, an ayin. Like in Arabic, we call, for example, ayin chilwe. So it's really ma'ayan, the sweet creek, or the sweet brook, because the water is sweet, right? Ain zahle, and so on and so forth. Ain always referred to a water source, a bubbling water source. So he ran to him. So maybe really afterward, if we did say that they are our forefathers, what made them so important and so wonderful is the fact that they were running. So maybe we were completely wrong about this guy Lavan, right? But then all of a sudden, that something really interesting happened here. And further down, and it says when what's his name? When Eliezer says, "Okay, guys, that's it. That's the deal. Let's pick up the stuff and go." All of a sudden, we see exactly. We need to see it in content. We'll see exactly. He says, "Vayan Lavan uBetuel vayomru, meHashem yatsa hadavar." Lavan and Betuel says, that's from God. God decided. A shidduch from Shamayim. Wonderful. Lo nochal daber elecha ra o tov. We can't speak anything good or bad about it. That's from Hashem. We're good people. Vayehi kasher shama eved Avraham et divreihem. when the slave of Abraham, Eliezer, the servant, heard what they said, okay, and he bows down, and then it says, of course, LeHashem, he thanks Hashem. ויוציא העבד כלי כסף וכלי זהב ובגדים וייתן לרבקה. He says, okay, thank you very much, arigato, domo arigato gozaimasu. Right? He speaks Japanese, he's bowing down, and he takes the bag, he has a saddlebag, he says, come here, Rivka, come on, Rivka. Bechavod, kli zahav, gold, silver, fine jewelry, silk, and then he gave to Rivka, umigdanot, and other gifts. Maybe he gave them a little bit baklava or something. Natan le'achia ule'ima, and he gave it to her mother and father. And they ate and they drank. Hu ve'anashim asher imo. Vayalunu. They said, okay, you the man, okay, and they went to sleep. Vayakumu baboker, and they got up in the morning. It's very important to understand that. And they got up in the morning. Vayomer, shelachuni la'aduni. Please send me back to my master. I mean, you have to ask permission to leave, right? You're a guest there, kind of a guest. He has to have permission to leave, right? He says, please, I need to go back to my master. And then we have something interesting. Vayomer achia ve'ima. And then it says exactly the word achia. And why doesn't it say Lavan? Why doesn't it mention his name? What's the importance of the word achia? We'll see, Be'ezrat Hashem. So then her brother and her mother said the following. No, teshev hana'ara imanu. Let the girl sit with us. Yamim or asor. What? You know what? Yamim. Yamim. What are yamim? Days. What's asor? 10 years. Sit here for days. 10 years. After that, telech. After. Shev. Relax. Right? 1 second. So I don't understand. What happened to that speed? Vayarotz, when he ran and he did. What happened exactly? All of a sudden comes the money, and all of a sudden, rega, wait, stand right? As they say in Turkish, yavash. Hey, Yoav. Slowly, yavash lavash, paciencia, lat, the money come, mucho dinero, poco speed. We don't want to go so fast. Rega. We have here a big mitzvah, a big gift. Why are you running? Shem, motek sheli. Shem, sit down. You can sit too. Yeah. So, the Mefarshim, the commentators, wrote about Rivka that she was quick for an action of chesed, of kindness. And she was very quick to help people. Bichlal, altogether. Not, what we call in Hebrew, Ezra Lazulat, helping other people. She was very big in that. And that's kind of a concept which we call zrizut. And I'm not quite sure there is a correct English terminology for that. Maybe for lack of my knowledge of the English language. However, it is not just quickness or agility. It's something more than that. It's alacrity. Alacrity. Okay. Conscientious. I'm not quite sure. Conscientious is also I'm conscious about But you understand. She was doing things quickly, so. We have to understand that is implanted in us genetically. She was our mother, one of the matriarchs. Avraham Avinu was one of the patriarchs, right? We always have this. All the forefathers were like that, and the mothers. However, we have to remember that we also have the genes of who? Her brother, Achia. Not Lavan as a separate entity. As Lavan, as Achia, her own brother. Which, just to remind you, was the father of also who? Of Leah and Rachel, the other matriarch. So his genes are in our genes. They are very deep inside of us. And because of that, we need to be very careful. Now we need to be very careful. What do I mean? As much as the Gemara says, you have to remember that before, the Gemara says that before you about to marry a girl, take a very good look at her brothers. Because there's a great chance that your boys will be like her brothers. Okay? So we need to remember this. So therefore, it's very possible that we have a problem here. Or maybe we don't, but I do think we have a problem. So have this in mind. Let's get to this point. Let's be a little bit more specific. So there is running and there is running, right? As much as we say when we finish any tractate of the Gemara, Anu ratzim vehem ratzim. We are running and they are running. Both people are running. Right? So there is the concept of running to different activities. Opposing activities. Anu ratzim vehem ratzim. We are running, they are running. And by the way, we don't, not for nothing, we say that verse when we finish a Masechta. Maybe when we finish, you'll have an idea why is it so fundamental for us to say those words, and when we finish a tractate of a Gemara. So Rivka, as we said before, she's running for act of chesed. And Lavan, as you could see, he runs for materialistic profit. Personal profit. He's really self-centered. He's a real egocentric person. When you are doing kindness with someone, you are basically giving from your resources, whether it's time and effort or all the above, to the other person, not expecting to get anything in return. The Lavan is running, what have you done for me lately? Kind of a person. Who's that? Queen Latifah sings that? Janet Jackson, right? Also Schneider. I don't know, who cares? Anyway. Right? So he's very egocentric. So therefore, of course, the question is asked, why out of the whole thing, what's his name? Eliezer picked up the quality of chesed as the indicator that she is the one. I mean, after all, there are many other good midot, and it's very possible that other women are capable of doing chesed, other girls are able of doing chesed. However, chesed, only a person who is capable to do an act of kindness that doesn't think about himself is the kind of person that could relate to Avraham Avinu. He's the kind of person who could do his own personal lech lecha, which we spoke about a few weeks ago, that we says we are all commended on this act of lech lecha every single day as a part of what we call the process of tshuva. What does it mean like? Let's say, for example, being egocentric and doing things quickly for profit, or materialistic profit, or so on and so forth. What does it mean? Let's say, for example, you have a baby, right? And all of a sudden the baby gets an idea that he wants a candy, right? He wants a candy, so he closes in, locks on the fact that he wants that candy, and he runs for it, and he's not going to stop, and he's going to put all his effort until he's going to get his candy without any consideration whatsoever to any other things, to the needs of the people or the situation. That's what he wants. And in other words, I feel like it, and you're going to give it to me. I'm going to make sure you do it. Maybe a little bit more sophisticated kid, you'll tell him, okay, he doesn't want, I don't know, say something, I'll pick your clothes. I don't want to. So tell him, okay, if you do this, I'll give you candy. Okay, I want that. Right? How do you call this in the psychological educational world? Positive reinforcement. I think it's a negative reinforcement. You're teaching the kid to do things only because he gets something. And we inhibit and we cherish those qualities. Oh, excuse me, I'm not getting anything from it, I'm not doing it. Why should I do anything for you? And those things, people play games on, on politics and so on and so forth. Vote for me, I'll give you. Vote for me, I'll give you. No ideals, no virtues, no quality of ideal in a society becomes a very selfish, self-centered society, and we all suffer. It's not, again, as JFK said, right? It's not what the country can do for you, it's what you can do for the country. Right, empty words, because nobody wants to do so. Why should I do anything for the country? Right? The country has to give me. This is a very bad quality. And that's why we as Jews need to come in and change it and reinstitute what we call Olam Shel Chesed, a world of kindness. And this world needs to be established on kindness. And you have to remember this. It's embedded on all of us. So therefore, to each and every one of us, right, that understand what the lech lecha means, is to get rid of your bad habits, to get rid of your selfish needs that you have. You could do so, because if not, this is your childish existence in you that you are concentrating yourself around, and you're focusing and trying to achieve only your goals and all the things that would serve you personally. In a way, it's kind of a variation of what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, right? In other words, I don't really care about anything besides myself, and I don't care about anything besides not only myself, what serves my own personal needs. I don't really care. That's it. I'll give you a silly example. Are you recycling because there is going to be a penalty if you don't recycle, or are you recycling because you really care?
I really care.
Okay, you really care. That's very good. If there's no recycling, what would you do? You can, in other words, I tell you, listen, you can put it here, but you can throw it outside also. So maybe you will do it, but most people won't. Littering. Nobody's around you. Nobody's going to see you. Nobody's around you. You're going to take something and toss it out? No. Okay, so you're a good boy. How about if you see a bottle of, it bothered me, it was a few weeks ago, I went for a short hike with my wife. I haven't gone hiking in a long time, so I went to a short hike. And it really bothered me because it was such a beautiful place. And, it really bothers me to the core when I see, people throwing not only cigarette butts that can cause a fire, but they're throwing bottles and cigarette boxes and candies. And why? Are you going to go and pick those things up? Or you guys going to say, no, too bad, I'm not picking anything up. What are you going to do? Are you going to go the extra mile? Since you have those two things, those two attributes inside of you, which one are you going to allow to become more dominant? Rivka or her brother? Are you going to wear the badge of honor or be calling yourself a descendant of Avraham Avinu? By acting like that? Are you going to help people even though you don't really care? Are you going to open a door for someone? That's an act of kindness, not an act of politeness. Are you going to help somebody? Are you going to give somebody, there's only one card and there's a lady there. Are you going to give her the card? Say, don't worry about it, I'll take it. How do you behave? What are you letting come up from inside of you? So, and this is, by the way, the famous concept behind the Avodah Zarah, the idol worshipping of Baal Peor. When they would go and they would defecate in public. What's the concept behind that? The concept behind that I so don't care about you, and I so don't care about what you do and what you think. I don't care that I'm willing to exploit myself in public and not only defecate in public. I'm going to do so with I'm going to take diuretic. That's going to be real repulsive because I don't really care. That's a type of idol worshipping. That was the worst kind of worship. That was like the opposite of Judaism. The complete opposite of Judaism. Not for nothing when they're about to enter the land, There are Moshe Rabbeinu is buried across from Baal Peor. So when you enter the land, you should know you could be Moshe Rabbeinu, you could be Baal Peor. What are you going to do? Do you really care, or you don't care what happens? You see somebody hurt on the floor, you're walking in the street. He fell, or she fell. Are you going to go and help them, or are you just going to say, oh, I don't see nothing? What are you going to do? When you're going to see injustice, are you going to speak? Even if it's going to cost you? Or you're going to say, well, I don't care. Yeah, this guy's right, but I don't care. I'll lose my job over this. No, it's crazy. I'm going to say something, I don't want. Are you going to say that? Are you going to allow this kind of behavior towards other people? When an injustice is being done, you should speak up. Do not be afraid.
What about Standing Rock?
Standing Rock? What do you mean Standing Rock?
Oh, you hear what's going on?
No, what's the Standing Rock? The Indians?
Yeah.
I think they're right. We always give them, they say, okay, we'll give you something. We take the land, we take everything, we give them nothing.
They want to build a pipeline.
Yeah, I know. They should get something out of it. But what are you to be, compensate them for something? We always take from the Indians, we never give them back. I mean, God forbid, Israel will do the same thing. I mean, even not the same thing, but this is our land. When we come to take it, we came here to reclaim our land. That's their land, and we're throwing it out. I mean, yeah, I think you should pay the Indians. I think you should say something about it. And how many of you, forget about the Indians, but are you going to say something about the Jews when there's anti-Semitism? Are you going to say anything in Queens College when there's a lot of anti-Semitism? Are you going to, or you just keep your mouth shut like anybody else? Or in NYU? It's like Mecca over there in NYU. Are you going to say something? Are you going to write a letter to the dean and say, with all due respect to freedom of speech, however, what you're doing is wrong? Are you going to say something? Are you going to send a letter to your senator, even though he doesn't look at it, I know, but are you going to do what you need to do regardless of what they do? No. Because you don't care. Are you going to voice your concern about injustice that is being done one way or another? It doesn't make a difference who it is. We're not going to. And you want to tell me that you believe that you really, really want Mashiach to come? Nobody's coming like this. Not Mashiach and not UPS. No one. It's terrible. This is not a behavior of a Jew. That's the bottom line. Are you going to say anything about the fact that, until today, black people are being treated different in this country? And Chinese, and Jews. There are laws. And we don't care because it doesn't affect us. If it affects us, we ran havoc. I mean, but it doesn't affect us. We don't care. The heck with this. Somebody else. I don't care. Anything. You see anything wrong, are you going to say anything? That's midat of Sdom. That's not Jewish behavior all the time. Therefore, a person like this, who is completely self-centered, is not going to be able to do his own personal lech lecha. In other words, he's not going to be able to let go of his old bad habits and bad rituals and behavior, and he's going to have problems doing tshuva, because lech lecha is in no way a certain process of tshuva. When you do tshuva, when you repent, and you are willing in tshuva, because if you analyze the act of tshuva, is actually letting go of your bad habits. I'm not going to do this anymore, right? It's your own personal lech lecha, because you heard the voice of God and tell you, come back home. Shuvu alai banim shovevim, come back to me, you mischievous boys. So you said, okay, I'm going to leave my bad habits that I got from my environment, from my parents' house, from this house. I'm going to become a good boy now. That's your own personal lech lecha. Are you capable of doing that? Are you from the Zerah of Avraham? That's why you can do tshuva. You're not. You're not. I'm sorry. So therefore, only a person who's able to give water to not only people, but also to camels, it could be a wife of Yitzchak Avinu. And not only Yitzchak Avinu, she could be the Kala, the daughter-in-law of Avraham Avinu, which is also, right? So therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not just show him an act of kindness, right? He showed him the one and only, without any doubts. He showed him the act of kindness and quickness. And he knew that this movement, this motion of quickness, of always being in an active pursuit for doing something, is what we call the action, the movement of Tikkun Olam, fixing up the world, which we all have to be a part of. That's Tikkun Olam. If you are interested in Tikkun Olam, you should be very careful in how you speak and how you act, and don't use derogatory terms to anyone. You can't. You can't say, I'm interested in fixing the world if you're a racist, a bigot. You can't do that. Or to that matter, politically correct. Politically correct is a movement that stops fixing up the world because I can't say what I need to say when I see something wrong. It's not nice to say that, Nobody can say the Palestinians is a hoax. I need some guy from Texas to tell me that, right? No, it sits over there. A cowboy from Texas can say that. But the Jews, no, Palestinians, yeah? Show me the capital of Palestine, huh? Where are the borders of Palestine? Can you tell me? You tell me what's the Palestinian currency? Huh? Who was the president of, where was Palestine before 1967 or 60? Where was it? There was no such thing. A cowboy in Texas can say that. But some Jew from Upper West Side is too embarrassed to say such a thing. Or from Long Island. Liberals. It's a religion. I'm a liberal Jew. It's a religion. Right? So therefore, we need to understand. Sometimes there is a certain awakening in us of feeling of excitement, itlahavut. We are excited of doing something. An internal combustion to come to do something. We want to do something. So how do I know if this movement, if this running towards whatever it is I want to do, comes from Rivka's side or from Lavan's side? So in order to know, to be able to distinguish, I need to know first of all my place, where I am. Where am I holding? I need to have a what?
A reference point.
No. Yes, reference point is where I'm going to go. I need to have a situational awareness of where I am. That's first of all. Where you are. What are you doing? Where are you? Okay? So that's first of all. And I need to be very, very careful to listen to that burning desire inside of me to know whether it's Rivka or Lavan. That's why I need Lavan. That's why I need the brother to be the beacon, to tell me, no, that's what you cannot be. You can't be selfish. You have to be selfless, like Rivka, not like Lavan. I need to define the boundaries in which I'm going to operate. So, I have a typo here. So after Eliyahu, right, all of a sudden, Eliezer, right? Eliezer takes the gold. Let's go back to our story. So after Eliezer takes the gold, all of a sudden everything, as we said, slowly. Let's drink some coffee. Let's have some baklava. Let's have some, kugel, leat. And it says, Vayomer achia v'ima tesheva nara itanu yamim o'asor, as we said previously. Let the girl sit with us a few days or maybe a few years, right? Achar telech, after that she can go. So all of a sudden there's no movement. Everything stopped. Nothing is burning. There's no rush, right? Everything is mañana, tomorrow. Bukra fil mishmish. Tomorrow. Today, siesta. Now, no trabajo. Now we're going to rest, right? Why rush? How many times you heard, Hamiyut miya Satan? Quickness is from the devil. It's a bad thing, right? And I can tell you that sometimes I think the devil actually makes this excuse. Why? Because the worst thing that the person can experience is to be stuck in one place. Lack of action, lack of doing. You're stuck. You're not going anywhere. You're stuck. For that matter, to be going on a family vacation. That's calling stuck in one place. You work very hard. You go to school, right? You do internship or whatever it is that you do. You say, I work hard. I need to do what now? Nothing. I need to go on a family vacation. What exactly are you going to be doing there? Nothing. You had to do something. You had to go to work. You have to go to school to work hard on things that you need to work hard. And now it's time for you to actually learn how to do things right. You're working hard, but you're not working right. So when you have time, instead of going on your family vacation, you can come and actually learn some time in yeshiva. Nothing will happen to you. On the contrary, you'll understand how to do things better. You don't come to learn. You want to do absolutely nothing. Even on Shabbat, we're not supposed to do absolutely nothing. It's unnatural to do nothing. How do you call it? Chill out. Chillax. Right? You could chillax 6 feet under. No problem. That time will come. You'll do nothing when you're dead. A dead person does nothing. Even he does something. Becomes maggot food. You have to always do something. Where are you going to align yourself? Even a car. You take a car. Give me a good, reliable car. Not Mercedes, a crappy Nazi cars. But give me a name of a good car. A good, reliable car. Oh, anybody? Cars, anyone?
Lexus.
Lexus. Yalla. Which Lexus? Don't make this. Lexus. Which Lexus?
350.
350. It's a good car, right? So it's so good you don't want to drive it. You're actually going to keep it bomboniera, like this. You're not going to drive it for 5, 10 years. How about that? I saw 10 years. What's going to happen to your car? Anybody knows?
Yes.
What's going to happen to the car? Huh? It's not going to drive. It's right. It's not going to drive. All the oil will become gunk. All the tires will become rotten. The car will die because it does nothing. The car needs to do something. Look at those old cars. I saw recently, I saw an article about it. The old Jeep Wagoneer and the Toyota Land Cruiser from the 80s. They're still running. You keep them well, they keep on running. They're worth now, a fortune. More than what you will buy them at the time. Because they're working. Take a good car, don't let it drive, it'll die. So you have that situation of sitting down doing nothing is very bad. It's terrible. You're stuck. Therefore, when Eliezer is insisting, he said, no, listen, I gotta go back home. So they says, okay, let's look at Rivka. Let's call Rivka. Come on, Rivka. Come here, baby. Come on. Do you want to go? And the pasuk says, "Vayikru leRivka, vayomru elea, hatilchi im haish hazeh." Would you go with this man? And she says, "Vatomer elech." I'm going to go. I have another typo here. She says, "I'm going to go." In other words, she says, "Yes, I'm going to go because he wants to go now, and I'm going now, not tomorrow. I'm going now. Before the end is the end of the day. I'm leaving." Therefore, we have an obligation to seek and destroy all the parts in us that cause us to become excited over materialistic desires, which is all illusion, materialistic illusions, and cause us to be stuck, like Lavan, gold, right? That is stuck, and to be stuck in one place, And then it's a problem. And usually, it's like gold, right? We see gold, we're excited, then right? And that's what happens many times to us. We get excited, we become inspirational, full of inspiration for a moment, for one moment, maybe for one day, no more than that, right? From something that maybe we just experienced or for something that we learned. Wow, that was amazing, right? But can you continue? Can you believe that you could continue live your life, right? With all this wisdom and excitement in which you experience? Can you imagine that you could live with this excitement to the rest of your life? Every day exciting? Most of us are bored to death with our lives. We're just going through the motions. We're looking to get retired. There's no excitement anymore. We're not excited about what we do. We're not excited to go to work. We're not excited to look at our children. We just want to get married and get out of here. We're not excited about our wives or husbands. We're not excited about our lives. It becomes boring. In other words, we're looking to die. There's no excitement. When you had your baby the first day, the first time, oh, baby, you want to hold him in your hands all the time. What happened to this baby? You're not excited anymore. What happened? We got stuck. That's what happened. We got stuck. So this is something you have to understand, that all the big tzaddikim, all the big people, were able to live with this excitement throughout their lives every single day. Every single day. And this is the secret of what the Parashat tells us. Avraham ba bayamim. Comes in the days. Avraham zaken ba bayamim. Hashem berach et Avraham bakol. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu blessed Avraham. And in a way, this pasuk does not make sense. And Avraham is old, and God blessed him in everything. Avraham is old, and still he was able to see the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu every single day. By the way, I told you this a million times. That was the last words of my grandfather on earth. His name was Avraham. He says, before he died, my aunt was sitting next to him, and he said to her, although he was going in and out of coma, he was 94, 92 years old. And he said, he opened his eyes, he said, V'Avraham zaken ba bayamim v'Hashem berach et Avraham bakol. He closed his eyes, an hour later he died. Maybe he's calling me now, I don't know. However, this is the secret behind it. Okay? Not only that the merit of this light came together, right, and he came and he left the world, but the secret of Avraham Avinu, Baba Yamim, that every single day that he lived was because of that inspiration of the light that he saw all the time. This excitement and understanding throughout his lifespan. And really imagine how life would be different to you, for you to experience life like this, that everything that you do will be out of excitement as you just experience it now. Every time you look at your boy, every time you look at your daughter, every time you look at your wife, you see the moment that you fell in love with your wife. Every single time. How different your relationship would be. That's the koach of Torah. That's why people resist learning so much. Because it is impossible to learn Torah and not to learn something new, right? And people don't want to be unstuck. People want to be in darkness. They don't want to come and rejuvenate. They don't want to get the wheels going. They want to be stuck in the mud. That's the resistance of people. And the excuses that I could have written to you a sitcom series on the excuses that people tell me not to come to learn Torah. I mean, it is ridiculous. It's pathetic, not ridiculous. Please. When next time you tell yourself you cannot learn Torah, because you're going to tell yourself also, I am stuck now. I'm letting Lavan coming up. I don't want to change. I like the situation that I'm at. So therefore, don't complain to me, Rabbi, I have a problem. Because I don't want to hear you. You can pull yourself out of it. Come and learn. Create emotion. Create excitement in your life. Every day that you learn, you feel, rejuvenated. You feel new. Oh, Rabbi, I have to take my wife. I have to take your wife nowhere. Where you have to take your wife? Don't tell me you care about your wife. If you will come to your wife every day with your face glowing, like Avraham Avinu, you'll understand the secret of beauty of Sarai Imenu, because she was a reflection of Avraham. Avraham Avinu's face glue every day, was glowing with the excitement that he every single day found the Kadosh Baruch Hu again. So it was reflected on Sarai. That's why she was beautiful. You don't understand that. You're afraid of changes. And I've been afraid of changes, right? Landslide, that's what happens to you in life. Landslide, you get stuck and then you're in the mud. So if a person will able to understand that connection every day, he will feel connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That excitement of, I'm connected to Ribono Shel Olam. All my acts are directed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I feel connected. I'm happy. I always want to do more. I want to give. I want to do. Sounds like a Neil Young song. I want to give. Yeah. A Heart of Gold. You know the song, The Heart of Gold? You listen to it. Make a list. Heart of Gold, Neil Young. Anyway, so just think about this again. Just think about it for a few minutes, right? If you could live this and experience that, how you can change the world. And you could have those moments and you could break all those barriers that you built and all the walls that you built all the time throughout your life to keep on isolating yourself. Not only from people, also from entering HaKadosh Baruch Hu through your lives. So when a person has the merit to live in life like this, is always going to have a life of inspiration, of divine inspiration in his life. And then every single day, you're going to be happy, not just from what happened to you yesterday. You're going to be happy all the time from whatever happens to you throughout your life. People who win the lottery are happy for a while, or 1 day, 2 days, a year. After that, most of them become miserable because they were miserable to begin with. So they have like a little pop of joy in their lives. Now they want the lottery. Every single day is a way for you to win the lottery. But not through money, through materialistic illusion. I'm talking through spiritual substance, and that's the choice you have to make. This is a tremendous gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving to us. And we need to be able to understand and accept it with two hands. We need to be able and to understand that only through this act of giving all the time, through the act of chesed, we could feel that. Because if you ask even psychologists, they will tell you that one of the most satisfying things in the world, feelings in the world, is to give from yourself to others. If you have meaning in your life, and your meaning is to give and to make this world better, your life will look completely different. So next time you complain about your life, how difficult it is, how miserable it is, how unfair it is, do me a favor, take yourself a mirror and look at yourself and understand that you are doing this to yourself. So therefore, Rabotai, it is never too late to find your own, to start, even if it's a small project of kindness, to start. It's not too late to realize at every given moment, HaKadosh Baruch Hu oseh lanu chesed, is making chasadim with us. He's doing acts of endless kindness to us. If we could just appreciate it, if we could just understand it, and we connect ourselves to that. And with this world, with these words, Olam Chesed Yivaneh, and a world of kindness will be built, not a world of burning and destroying and hatred, a world of love and kindness. And that's what should save us all. Shabbat Shalom.